What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Infinity Gaming. I'm Doublepulse. I'm here with LMAOMack
What's
27.
going on, everybody? We back for another video.
Oh boy. This time we're actually going to be discussing the state of play that basically I wasn't going to say Nintendo, but no, we talked about the Nintendo Direct last time. This time we're going to be talking about the state of play that pretty much dropped. Like, honestly, like last minute. Like, I
Mhm.
was not expecting it to come out so soon, but given that the release date on the PlayStation VR 2, it makes sense as to why that this would be something that has just would come out right out the blue, because they spent a good 5 minutes talking about the PlayStation VR titles, and it
Yeah,
was
they
just like
did.
a showcase of these type of games. It wasn't like, hey, we're focusing on this and this. It's just a huge array of VR titles that are coming out, as well as a couple heavy hitters. But we're here to talk about that, give our thoughts and opinions on what we think about them. And I guess we'll start out by just bringing up some of the videos that we have listed for you guys, because we have quite a bit of things to show off. So, what
All
would you
right.
say was the first? What would you say is the first thing they showed, which is the VR titles?
The VR titles. Ooh, I don't think I downloaded those ones.
It's all good. Because the VR titles, there wasn't really like any title outside of maybe like one or two that stood out to me.
Okay.
It's more of the experience of VR 2.0 that I want to talk about rather than just the games. Have you did you ever buy a PlayStation VR back when the first one released in 2014?
No, I didn't, but a friend of mine actually does have it, and we played it here and there. We used to play this game called Shooty Fruity on
Shoot.
there. Yeah, it was a game where you were getting attacked by killer fruit, and you had to scan items and stuff while shooting at the all these fruit, and if too many of them did damage to you, you'd end up failing. It was kind of weird, but it was fun at the same time.
Mhm.
So that was a pretty good title on VR. I mean, personally, with how some of the VR like just games and graphics and stuff look, like I was just talking to Dope Rock about this the other day. Like VR, it'd be cool, but I'm like, we have way too much technology
Mhm.
for graphics to not be pristine on VR. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like all these games look like we back playing on the PS2 or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like
So
that's just my main problem.
So I had bought PlayStation VR in 2014, and what I'll probably end up doing is throwing some gameplay footage up on the screen of just, some of the VR stuff that they did show. However, when I had got into PSVR, it was cool, but it wasn't like game changing, game break, like, oh my god, this is going to be the next thing. And one of the things I noticed when you take technology like this is that this technology is often way ahead of its time than where we are currently in the point of gaming. But I think PlayStation VR 1 was almost like a prototype as to what PSVR 2 was. Because from what of the videos that I have watched, people playing PSVR 2, and the drastic difference between the two devices is night and day. Like, I agree, playing in the first PlayStation VR, you know, it's running at, I think, like, what, 900p or 1080p, but the
Mhm.
graphics and just the general feel of it still felt like you were playing, PS3 titles at the time.
Mhm.
But there's elements to where you feel immersed, but the immersion gets broken pretty easy when you're not only just thinking about the graphics, but you're thinking about that screen door effect that gets in play. You're using the old PlayStation 3 Move controllers that were kind of a big deal back then, and then you had to connect it to this box. So PlayStation VR number one really was one of those sort of things where I don't think it caught a whole lot of people's attention until later on,
Mhm.
because of just how much there was to fiddle with to get it working. But VR2 actually is definitely more exciting because not only is the quality of the graphics matched up to what the PlayStation 5 is, the the OLED the screen inside the actual headset is a OLED screen, an OLED display, and I think they're running. I could be wrong. I want to say 4K in each eye, but that's kind of an absurd statement. I want to say it's 1440p, but just to basically kind of cover it up, they practically fixed all the issues that the original PlayStation VR headset had at launch.
Yeah,
However, the one drawback, actually two drawbacks, that the reason that I am not buying it yet. One is the price. The price of this VR headset costs $50 more than the actual PlayStation 5 itself.
yeah.
So you're paying 450, I think it's $450 for the PlayStation VR 2. And second off, all those games that you bought on the first PlayStation VR
Hmm.
are not cross compatible with that device.
Yeah,
Now, it's because of the technology in it, but I think that is honestly the killer the the killer thing that really kind of defeats the reason as to why I'm not going to pick it up at launch. Maybe if they do a price drop, or my tax refund is more than what I could ever imagine expecting, maybe. But I just can't justify spending $450 for a PlayStation VR headset,
yeah.
especially with how much stuff I have already.
Right.
But out of the games that they did show off, the only two that really caught my attention was Resident Evil Village VR and maybe like
Hmm.
one of the shooters, and then Resident Evil 4 VR.
Hmm.
So both of them are Resident Evil titles.
Yeah, those caught my eye, and also they have a Horizon Zero Dawn too. So I mean, it could change my mind. It just depends on what those games are looking like when I
Hmm.
see gameplay for them eventually. But VR, that's gonna have to wait a minute, especially with how expensive it is.
Tell me about it.
Man,
So I guess in some of the state, what would you say would be some of the titles that caught your eye on the state of play?
well, shoot, they all right here. These six right here. We got Suicide Squad, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Destiny 2 LightFall expansion, which drops this Tuesday. So if you ain't got it, go get it. If you're a real Destiny fan. Street Fighter 6, they showed two returning characters and one new character.
Hmm.
Naruto Storm Connections, which from what I've seen and what I saw and what I've heard, it's gonna be the past four Ninja Storm games all put into one game. So the
Oh shit.
storyline is gonna be from when Naruto was younger all the way through Shippuden. And this one right here caught my attention to Wayfinders. It's like an MMORPG that's gonna be online and stuff. That caught my eye too. That looked pretty cool. So it's just a question which one we gonna get into first, real quick.
Let's get into the obvious one that I think we want to discuss. Let's talk about Resident Evil 4, the remake.
All right, let's get into the trailer then.
You see, we are all connected through the holy body. When you need only accept the sacred gift. Christ! Like she did.
Temperance, child.
They added so much more to this thing.
Some entertainment for you.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
The entertainment.
Like, I've played Resident Evil so many times, Resident Evil 4, and I know the story, but for some odd reason, this still excites me, even though it's like a remake. I'm just like, the fact they have stealth mechanics added to it,
Always like this with you.
they brought back
How
some
about you
stuff.
open fire instead of your mouth?
They improved Carlos's character and added. It seems like they're adding more of him as like a companion.
Did you Krauser? Why? You can't save her. You can't save anyone.
What's gonna happen to me?
We gotta keep moving forward. We will beat this
Jesus Christ.
together.
Thanks.
Then come, Sancho Panza. Let us rescue the Princess Dulcinea.
You gotta hurt yourself.
Hey.
Sorry, bad traffic. One combat shop will compliment you, Hunnigan.
Ha, ha, this is kind of fun. Ahead.
You're kidding.
Yes, the time has come.
Like I
I
told
think
you,
that's Salazar, right? And then, oh my god.
I'm gonna get you home safe. I'm ready to die, rookie.
Exalt all, Leon, and let it be so.
This time, it has to be different.
Oh.
Well now,
shit.
time to cause some mayhem.
Damn, and it comes out March 24th with a
Yup.
demo. Ooh. So I'll have you start off first. I have some interesting thoughts on it.
You see, we are all
Sorry about that. You said, "What you want me to start it off?"
Let me know what do you think about Resident Evil 4? Have you even played the original? That's my question to you.
I played. Let's see how many. Because there were a lot of Resident Evils, but I know I did play the originals on PS2 though. So
Okay.
I like just how they're going with these remakes, how they're completely basically like remaking them, better graphics. You know what I'm saying? The updated, the upgraded mechanics, and even like with how they did Dead Space. You know what I'm saying? They're adding in new stuff that wasn't even in the original game that catches your eye, like you spoke of
Exactly.
the stealth system.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I think that they're doing really well with these remakes, and
Oh,
they need to keep it up.
they definitely do. I mean, one of the things. No, I have a theory about this. I feel like what Capcom is currently doing with the Resident Evil franchise is that they are not only kind of they want to do kind of a bit of a little bit of a trickle, so I want soft reboot of the entire franchise.
Yeah.
And because I mean, you think about it, we already got Resident Evil 2 remake, we already got Resident Evil 3 remake, we're now getting Resident Evil 4 remake. The only thing that they can now come up with is Resident Evil 5, 6, Code
Mhm.
Veronica, and all the spin-offs. And what really catches my eye is how are they going to go further? Because Resident Evil 4, the original one, was such a huge pinnacle shift from the previous entries of the game. That was the first time it was over the shoulder, where it seemed more action oriented. You know, and when watching this trailer and even gameplay that was presented in the previously from them, I get some of that same feeling from, looking back, and I'm like, well, man, they are going the more action oriented route, but they're still capitalizing and capturing the attention of people who love survival horror. Like, I think survival horror has now evolved into more of just like, the quick scares and the puzzles. And it's more about like, what are you doing to stay on top of your feet as to like, oh, when you have waves of enemies coming at you with axes, chainsaws, how are you going to survive? And that's kind of where I like the direction of where they're going with this game. I mean, man, they added a stealth mechanic, which now lets you to sneak up on enemies. I recognize a lot of stuff from the original in there, but they're doing a lot more with it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
So it's
you never
definitely
played
gonna
the
be good.
original, right? You never played the original on four?
No, not four. The first three, yeah, but not four.
Yeah,
So
you got a lot of guys.
Resident Evil's always been like kind of like iffy for me and stuff. Like it was a good game starting out, I enjoyed it, but I ended up getting into like so many other games and stuff where I really never paid it no mind. I know Resident Evil Village
Mhm.
dropped a few years back, and that's a game that I might check out because I like the whole concept. I like the little vampires and werewolves stuff and all that. So
If you do that, you have to play number 7 before Village to understand the full story. Uh,
well, which one was that? The what was it
Number
called?
7 was the one with where you're in the house and it's in first person.
Yeah.
Like it looks like the found footage stuff. You have to kind of play that one beforehand to get the full story. But
Okay.
no, I like what they're doing with the series, and it just gets me thinking like, how are they gonna if they go and turn around and do number 5 or number 6? How are they gonna do that in a way that doesn't butcher the series again? Because those are the ones that a lot of people kind of felt were like really falling off the rails
Hmm.
in terms of the whole like horror aspect, but Capcom is on a streak when it comes to that, and I can't wait to see them, incorporate the VR aspect, the whole companion system. I just hope they do Outbreak next, but that's just how I think. With Resident Evil, the last thing I will bring up too is that like you, I actually was very iffy about the series. So like I played a lot of it when I was a kid and then I
Hmm.
kind of dropped off the franchise for I think a good,
Hmm.
6 or 7 years. And
Yeah.
then I came back to it and then I sort of fell in love with the franchise all over again, kind of going through the entire thing.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of
That's
where I'm
facts.
at.
Shoot, the main Capcom game that I know and love, Devil May Cry.
Oh,
Shoot.
hell yeah, dude. Speaking of Capcom, they also dropped another huge surprise, which I will let you talk more about, and that is Street Fighter 6.
Yes, sir.
So
Let's
go
get
ahead and bring
into it.
up the trailer for that, and I'll have you do most of the discussion because I'm not much of a Street Fighter player.
Brace yourself! Useless! Force! Dynamite! Get ready! Dark Hammer! It's time to get serious! This is your last ride! Let's go! My beautiful body is built better!
I call upon you, great wind. Toino Ikonoi, spirit of the wind. Let yourself become one with Take this! A little smile. Good stuff. Wings together. Go. It's over. Here we go. That's just for you. Easy. Here I go. The voice of the spirit, only I can hear it.
But not the one we're looking for.
Oh shit! Damn, she kicks ass.
Yeah. She one of the original characters of Street Fighter.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't play Street Fighter that much, but I do know who Cammy is.
Yeah.
Another mission awaits.
Alright, I'm gonna let you lead this one.
June.
Tell me what you thought.
Shoot, what I thought. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know. Shoot, now I've been a big fighter game type of person for as long as I could remember. I believe the first fighter I ever played and game actually I ever played was Tekken. So and I was back with what I think it was Tekken 2. You know what I'm saying? We just went from there. Boy, I fell in love with fighters after that. Second was Mortal Kombat, and then I did play some Street Fighter. I fell off like the past like 2 Street Fighters. But this right here, I'm gonna have to get this Street Fighter 6. You know what I'm saying? I say Cammy, she's definitely one of my favorite characters aside from Ryu and Akuma. There's also Chun-Li, you know. So I'm glad that they brought her back with a whole new look at that. You know what I'm saying? Before she had the long hair with the beret on, you know what I'm saying, the green little onesie and stuff. You know what I'm saying? She totally revamped her whole look. You know, Capcom think they slick though. You know what I'm saying? Because she looking. I mean, Cammy was thick, but they made her real thick up in this game, boy. I'm telling you, I know there's some simps out there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you stay hydrated, drink your water, boys. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, but nah, I think it's gonna be a good game. Shoot, there's a Street Fighter 6 coming out. We got Tekken 8 was announced not too long ago too, you know what I'm saying? So fighters are definitely making a comeback, and I'm here for it. So I'm really glad to see it. So I have no complaints. Everything I've seen has just looked amazing, and I hope they keep it up. Shoot, I'm curious to see what new characters they done thought of. You know what I'm saying? We had Lily. She's a brand new character. So, you know, a bit goofy, you know what I'm saying, clumsy at the same time, you know what I mean? So, and then I think his name is Zangief, the wrestler dude. I know he's an original character. They brought him back. So, and I also saw too when Zangief was the first character, they throwing in how can I say it, like counters, you know what I'm saying? How the dude went to throw a punch and he countered it, grabbed him and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I say y'all taking some notes from Tekken, you know what I'm saying? Because King do that. King does that in Tekken. So I'm glad to see it. Shoot, it's pretty dope. What's your take just on the look of it?
I mean, I like the fluid combat, like the fluid combat system. I mean, there's a part of me that almost like this seemed like it was this gameplay footage, or was this like just a pre-rendered, footage showing off the characters? But if the combat is as fluid as it looks and it's very dynamic, I may have to give it a shot, because my thing with Street Fighter in general is like I played it and it was something that was cool, but I never really got into it like as a hardcore fighter player. Maybe it's just because I felt like a lot of the combat moves were very rigid. You'd like ha, and I'm like, it's very skillful based game, and let's just say I ain't very skilled when it comes to fighting games.
Definite. I can say out of all the fighting games I played, aside from, well, no, I think all of them are pretty skillful.
Yeah.
Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, those are the top 3 where you need to know a character's combos if you want to do some damage. Like, you got to put that work in with that character. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no switching between characters in games like that. You got to have a dedicated character that you can mess somebody up with. You know what I'm saying?
You got to marry yourself to that character, basically.
Yeah, you got to know the ins and outs of that character. You got to know what combo is going to do the most damage, how to do their ultimate attack, everything. You know what I'm saying? And then when you master them, then you can move on to another character.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think even on the last trailer, they signified there's some sort of like open world hub element to it, which I'm not actually sure how that's gonna
Hmm.
work.
Yeah,
But I think it just looks great. I mean, even though I'm not a huge fighter, I mean, I'd be intrigued to try it a little bit and see how that goes. Hell, I mean,
yeah.
it's one of those titles where I think if you really think about it,
Hmm.
you can buy one copy, do a remote play session, and just play with somebody, sort of like a co-op, like if you're on the
Yeah,
couch. So
yeah.
I may have to, if you pick it up, we may have to go out a couple rounds and see how that works.
Shoot, I feel
Dish
it.
things
Well, I
out.
will warn you though. I don't go easy
Oh,
on nobody. Not
I
even
don't expect you to,
not even
man.
my own mama. I
Oh my
go easy
god.
on nobody. I said that was the first and last time my mama ever played a video game with me. I ain't show her no mercy. So you better be ready.
Yeah. There is a there have been other ones that I've seen that were like that were also pretty good. One that I personally ran into recently, I don't know how much of you are a huge fan of Baldur's Gate. I
Mm.
I'm not like huge on Baldur's Gate, but I have played the originals,
Hmm.
and that one sort of has like a nostalgic feeling to it. So if you look up on they did have gameplay of Baldur's Gate on there, which I thought was kind of cool. But I, I don't think we need to cover too much on that. But Baldur's Gate 3 is the one that they just put out there, and that's the trailer for the reveal that yeah. So
I'll tell you a story, true soul. My life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. I must finish what I started. Death's design will be complete.
Discover Ketherick's secret. Find out what it is that makes him invincible so we can strip him of his advantage.
You're a pawn, a slave to forces you cannot comprehend.
Ketherick is a frightening man, but you have something he doesn't. Allies worth having.
Together, we will strike down the Absolute.
Bow before me. Bow before the Absolute. Bow!
yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. So I don't know if you've played Baldur's Gate. This is one of those titles where it reminds me a lot of Dragon Age Origins,
Hmm.
but it's this type of sort of like Dungeons and Dragons kind of RPG, and they're not necessarily turn based in a sense, but they're
Hmm.
kind of like over the top. You're going through dungeons, you pick a class like mage, warrior, and you're just, going through these levels in these labyrinths, kind of, RPG stuff. But
Yeah.
this one kind of intrigued me because it looks like, unless it's just the trailer, it looks like there's split screen, there's different perspectives that you can play the game from, and a different type of combat styles. So
Hmm.
it kind of really brought me back to those old like RPG
Hmm.
days of when I played like what was Boulder's Gate? I don't know if it was PS2, but I played things like Champions of Norath. I was like a Lord of the Rings PS2 RPG game, which I thought was kind of cool.
Hmm.
So that was one I was a little excited for, but nothing grand, nothing like as exciting as some of the other ones. But what'd you think of it based off of that trailer you just saw?
My honest opinion,
Hmm.
it looked boring as hell in my opinion. To me, I'm sorry. It did like I saw it during the state play, but that's just it. At first, I thought it was gonna be the new Diablo, But then I kept watching. I said, "Oh, this ain't Diablo." You know what I'm saying? Like, Diablo, I'll play. I said, "This one, I don't think I'm gonna play at all." It didn't pique my interest whatsoever. Just
Fair
like,
enough.
just how it looks and all that stuff, and even the voice lines and stuff just sound boring and sound like they use actors that don't know how to get in tune with the character. Like you heard
Bro,
him talking,
you
you
know what
heard
it
him
sounds
talking
like?
towards the end.
Actually, to be honest with you, what it really sound like to me, and this is something that these type of games could probably get away with
Mm-hmm.
because they're not too heavy on story, at least not in that aspect. You're not going to get like a freaking Assassin's Creed story or a freaking
Yeah,
Last of Us story out of a Baldur's Gate game.
right.
But honestly, you could even technically use AI. Like you can create
Mm-hmm.
AI voices that sound like medieval and be like, I'm just gonna slap that.
Yeah,
Why hire voice actors these days for to deliver a really, really good experience? I know they
yeah.
probably didn't. I just find that kind of funny to bring up. Like
And
you
it's
can
just
hear
like the showcase of the game, it just looked boring. Like y'all showed
Mhm.
nothing interesting about the game. Y'all showed nothing about what the story is gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? You just showed people running around fighting
Right.
like two scenes where they were fighting and throwing off some dude off a roof and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, like that's not what. How do you expect
Yeah.
a trailer like that to do anything for anybody? You know what I'm saying? You got fucking a dude who I guess is gonna be the some evil dude that you're gonna
Some,
be dealing with in the game. You know what I'm saying? I guess he a king, whatever. I don't know the story of Baldur's Gate, but we don't even know who he is. What? Well, you're not telling us nothing in this trailer.
who's the actor? Like they showed a picture. So in the trailer, let me look this up really quickly. Um. Oh God. I legit thought this guy was it. You're gonna laugh at who I thought the actor that I saw they show on screen. Y- I'm looking him up right now.
Like
Oh my God.
I need something more in depth. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got all these other trailers during the state of play that you know what the game's gonna be about. They giving you basically like a glimpse into the story and what you're gonna
Hmm.
be doing, and you're doing nothing but showing this gameplay and you got a mad king in the background talking, and we don't even know who
Yeah.
he is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that don't do nothing for me.
Nah. I feel it. It makes sense. You're kind of like you want to see the story. You want to see the interesting shit. And
Like
sometimes,
I need the ins and out. You know, if you're gonna drop a
yeah.
trailer, you need to give your audience the ins and out of the game. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Street Fighter, that's self-explanatory. Everybody knows what Street Fighter is. They showed us the characters that they're dropping, two oldies and goodies, and one new character. You know what I mean? We watched Resident
Exactly.
Evil 4. Everybody's seen Resident Evil 4, and then they know what the story is about. And the remake
Yeah.
makes it look even more incredible than it was back when we were fucking playing it back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, I feel a little bit bad because they do got some really good actors in it. Got J.K. Simmons on as one of the characters that's playing playing I guess the king or something like that. So who knows? Maybe that's going to be the saving grace for Baldur's Gate 3 for people.
But see, this the one I want to talk about right here. Wayfinder.
Ooh, Wayfinder. Let's bring that up because I am very curious to see what
This game
Wayfinder
looks
is
like
all
it's gonna
about.
be interesting.
Welcome to Wayfinder, an online multiplayer adventure for you and your friends. It's all set in Evanor, a gorgeous but fallen world.
See, explanation
You'll
right
control
there.
the chaos through Wayfinders. Meet
Even the
Senja,
combat looks
who
pretty
likes
good
to get
too.
up close and personal, and Silo, who fights with both firepower and fast reflexes. And Wingrave slices through the fray while also supporting the group. With another victory under our belts, let's head to Skylight, our social hub. Here, you'll turn your loot into new weapons and Wayfinders. You can also explore dungeons called Lost Zones that you can modify and mutate for a greater challenge.
My boy had a scythe on his back. Hold on.
Lost Zones are where you and your friends will team up to complete quests, collect loot, and hunt bosses like this Titan. We're excited to bring Wayfinder's beta exclusively to PlayStation, and you can sign up for the chance to play early now. Thanks for watching.
Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Look at that explanation
yeah.
off the rip right there. Boy,
I think
look.
you're gonna have to try and get that beta and get some gameplay footage for the channel because
Oh yeah, I'm definitely about to do that.
I'm like, okay, here's the thing, right? I understand exactly why you like it because you are the type of dude who plays Destiny, right? You probably love collecting the loot. You love collecting the loot and all this. Bro, that game, Wayfinder, interests me, but it had me kind of concerned when they mentioned the hub and then the loot section. Because the reason that those games kind of I have a love-hate relationship with is because I don't want to feel like the entire game is going to be a grind in the fact that I'm just collecting loot for the sake of collecting loot. Like, I couldn't really get into Destiny. The other type of titles I really couldn't get into. I couldn't get in. It's as crazy as it sounds. I never could get into Borderlands because the collection of loot in that. It's just I don't know what about it that just never appealed to me.
I explained this to a friend just yesterday because he was talking about Destiny. He hopped back on and all that stuff, and he was asking a bunch of questions. I said, "Look, honestly, it's either it's for you or it's not." You know what I'm saying? Like me, I play all types of different games. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, looter shooters, you know what I'm saying, just regular RPG looters and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like I like it, and to have to grind to get stuff, it keeps me immersed in the game, you know what I mean? Like when you have stuff that's just handed to you, you get the best weapon off the rip, you know what I'm saying? Like with some of these, like even like I play a lot of open worlds and stories and stuff too, but the grind I like. You know what I'm saying? If everything's just handed to you, why keep playing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, I already got the best gear, so I don't even really need to play the game like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to hang out with your friends, get some good loot, and you can keep getting even better loot. You know what I'm saying? And with games like that, they're always dropping better stuff, too.
Okay. I guess there's a point. I guess for me, it's not so much the shooting mechanics or even in the gameplay. I think it's for me is that sometimes they sort of the gameplay loop. Once you catch on to what the gameplay loop is, and you're like, oh, you're completing the story. It's like for me, once I complete the story, I feel like there isn't a whole lot of purpose for me to go back and play that old content. And once I get gear that I like I have no issue with working for gear and working for the things. I don't want things handed to me, but there's a point where it becomes so obsessively about like, oh, I want to collect my next gun. I've got 100 other guns that I could basically use that I can offload, which I don't want to bring it up in this video, but because we are both playing it. I will hintly mention one of the things that I love about Hogwarts Legacy is that whole cosmetic aspect, and I can offload loot. But I'll save that for a completely separate video when we get into that. But that's just my whole feeling about
with
it.
stuff like that, though, they're doing stuff like that with almost every game now. Like Hogwarts didn't come up with that whole
of course,
augmenting your gear to look like other gear you already collected. You know what I'm saying? Destiny does it too. You know what I'm saying? I get the whole collecting gun after gun and then it just builds up because that's where I'm at now. Hop on Destiny and look in my vault. I got nothing but a bunch of fucking guns and stuff filled with god rolls and all that stuff. But you know, it also comes in handy too because with games like Destiny, they take some guns out and then they bring them back. And then if you already got that gun, that's even better because you already got the god roll and then you can boost it up and increase its damage and all that stuff. You know, so it's just one of them things, but I get it. But it's like I said, shoot, it's either for you or it's not. You know what I'm saying? I love looter games, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it keeps me on that game. It keeps me immersed in it, you know, and it's like with story mode, you could beat the story mode in Destiny, but there's still stuff for you to do. Everything that's in Destiny ties into the lore and the story in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
speaking of Destiny, they you mentioned that they did release something at the State of Play.
Yeah.
We might as well just get right into it, dude, since we've been talking about Destiny for quite some time now. So
Love this damn game.
What is that? The witness.
Oh shit, Bungie.
The malefactor of our first collapse is at our doorstep.
You have no purpose. Because you fear to seek one. That fear is your failure.
Vanguard to all units. Keep the enemy away from the Traveler at all costs.
You get when you mess with us.
I understand what's at stake, Lightbearer. Not all of us have lives to spare.
Your fear brings you pain. We know pain. Our purpose is its end.
The battle begins here and now.
When you mess with us.
Man.
All right, Mac, lay it on me. Lay it on me. Why do you like
Boy.
Destiny 2? And why does this excite you so much?
But
Convince me as a
it's just greatness, boy. Let me tell you. Okay, come on, man.
Convince me as a non-Destiny player to jump into the game, please.
Look. I'm gonna say it like this. Shoot, I'm gonna just tell you the straight fucking facts. Okay, shoot. Hop on there. You can get on there with your boys. We got dungeons. We got raids. We got amazing storytelling. You know what I'm saying? And the lore is just as good too. You know what I'm saying? You could follow podcasts and stuff where they get deeper into the lore than what they tell you in the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's just all around. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad Bungie left Halo because see this would have been Halo Infinite right here. You know what I'm saying? If Bungie had stayed on Halo, it's just incredible, bro. LightFall drops next Tuesday. If you ain't got it, go get it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the Beyond Light DLC and Witch Queen DLC are free right now on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to hop in real quick and get a little taste of that the great stories, do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna ask y'all to play the game full time like I do. You know what I'm saying? Either you're for it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? I'm a D1 veteran. You know what I'm saying? I've been here since day one on this Destiny tip. Shoot, check it out. I'm telling you, it won't disappoint. If you got some friends that already play it, you know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, hit them up. You know what I'm saying? If you ever get back on it, hit me up. Shoot, we can run through that thing.
Oh yeah. Do you have to play Destiny 1 to play Destiny 2 and understand it, or are they?
No.
Is it kind of connected?
Anybody can explain to you what's going on in D2 from and what happened in D1. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's nothing complicated to explain. And even if you're a new player, they run you through one of the first missions in D1.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they threw that in there for new light players. You know what I'm saying? So you get a little taste of what was going on in D1 and all that stuff. Shoot, they have you go through the whole missions to unlock your supers and stuff. So that's a dope experience. And I'm telling you, bro, you know what I'm saying? The raids tell you stuff, the dungeons tell you stuff, the story mode tells you a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we got our seasonal quests and stuff too that explain even more and get into depth with some of these characters that you're wondering about too. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a taste of their backstories. So
all right.
Check it out. People, right. You know what I'm saying? People hawk on Destiny and sleep on Destiny, but you know what I'm saying? Destiny is a great freaking game. I'm telling you.
All right, I'll put that one on my list. So I guess we talked about those titles. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we really need to cover before we actually close the video off. I think
there's one more.
Oh, okay.
One more. One more.
All
one
right.
more.
What is that one?
I got 2 words for you. Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
Let's
All
get
right.
into it.
Let's get right into it. This one they spent like 15 minutes on. So.
Nah, this one's only like a 5-minute video.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Hello, Brainiac. Is it happening now? Great. You will have Luther ASAP. Good news! You want Luther, all you have to do is come and get him.
Task Force X, what the hell was that?
Flash is alive.
And he has Luther.
One damn thing at a time. That artillery is gonna wreak havoc on our front line. If there's a snowball's chance in hell you can destroy it, I expect you to. No matter the cost. Are we clear?
Yeah. Where the snowball?
Time to light them all up.
Incoming Ollie! Out of my way.
Guess Quinn ain't holding anything back for later.
Hold my beer, guys. Let's dance. Ah! That's gonna leave a mark.
The combat definitely is interesting. That's got me
Focus on fire on this tank.
excited.
Why do we never get reinforcements?
Thunder upon this tank.
Yes! Spot you, mate. Love explosions.
Up high. Incoming.
Send this chopper flying!
Roger that, Quinn. Eyes up. We got more company. Go, Shark, go.
Is this a complete single player experience? Or is this going to be multiplayer as well?
Nah, it's multiplayer.
Oh shit! Okay,
Four
on that.
players. Up to 4 players. If you're playing by yourself, you can switch between all 4 characters.
Isn't it crazy when you think about it? Isn't it kind of crazy how they turned around and made Gotham Knights, and then they have this, and they're complete contrasts of each other in terms of experience.
Right, exactly.
Quinn, there's more of them.
Thank you!
I mean, I definitely will have to actually check it out.
Guys, this one won't die already!
Killing it out there, Hal. Come on.
Harley Quinn got the moves with the sliding and stuff, though. I'm gonna tell you that now. She crazy with all that sliding.
Get on it now.
Rising like a wave.
Oh, this is our chance!
I'm being dead shot for sure, though.
Ooh.
Ouch!
I love our escapades.
Huh.
So, how'd the whole taking down the Flash thing go?
Still in play? Now get out of my way. I have work to do.
Well, hey there, sleepyhead. We've got an interrogation to get back to.
Hey,
think I'm just gonna let you walk away? And tell these guys everything you know? You think they can stop us? Pathetic.
Pathetic? At least I'm not a big hero turned stooge for a spaceman.
Okay, Boomerang. You want to see what a real hero can do? I'll show you.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
They really are going all out.
Flash, how do I stop this? Please, tell me how.
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the world.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
So, like I was mentioning, when it was playing, it's funny how they turn around and release Gotham Knights, which people have a little bit of differing opinions on that. And then you have Suicide Squad, which is like the complete contrast to that. And that is actually made by the same people who did the Arkham games. So you already know, just based off of how Arkham was, like how the Arkham games were,
Yeah.
that this is going to be good. My question is this a direct canon, or is this more like a spin-off happening?
This is direct canon. This actually takes place 5 years after the Arkham series. So the
Okay.
developers made that known and everything. So
That's
this is completely canon. As far as Arkham Knights, Gotham Knights, my bad. As far as Gotham Knights is concerned,
like it's
I
that's like
hope this game is way better and it's not. I say Gotham Knights was pretty fun, but it still was kind of a flop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they could have did so much better on Gotham Knights. But I mean, you saw the gameplay for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this 4-player co-op, you can play with your friends. Like, I think this is gonna be good. This actually takes place in Metropolis. They're not in Gotham. So they're in Superman's hometown now. They're in Superman's territory.
Snap.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense now, because I mean, like, I have played through some of the Gotham Knight games or Gotham Arkham games. I haven't really like gone through the whole thing. It's been so long since I've touched those. But maybe it's an excuse to go back and play those and then eventually get into this. But we'll definitely be checking this one out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty hyped about it.
I'm telling you.
Kind of gave me that Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, except more, I want to say more freedom into it, because I played Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was kind of cool.
Oh, okay, I feel it. So yeah, this game's gonna be dope. So you also can get different types of weapons. I think they have 2 other villains in the game that make weapons for you. One of them is Penguin, and another one is Gizmo. If you don't remember him from Teen Titans, he was one of the villains in Teen Titans. So you have those 2 playing a part up in there. You already saw Lex Luthor was up in there. You're going to have to fight Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and who knows who else. You know what I mean? So that's definitely going to be interesting.
Playing as the bad guys, fighting the good guys.
Yeah. So this is definitely a game I'm going to pick up and will be streaming. So, you know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for that. So best believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. I actually think that probably concludes our discussion. There isn't anything else that really caught my eye outside of those, those main titles, and I think we covered quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, do you have any last closing thoughts before we end this video?
No, shoot. I basically explained everything, especially when it came to Destiny and stuff. You know, I will be going live on Twitch in about, about maybe like an hour or so. So stay tuned for that. You know, if you guys want to come check it out, you can go to my page. My Twitch is is one of my links and stuff. So come check it out. Keep your boy company. You know, ask questions, etc. You know.
Hell yeah. Well, all right. We're going to close this video off. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely leave it a like, leave a comment on what you guys thought about it, what's your favorite titles, and what you're looking forward to playing. I'm Doublepulse. This is LMAOMack. We
Yes,
might
sir.
some other videos on the screen, and Infinity Gaming is signing out. So
Subscribe, mofos. Subscribe.
subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Peace.